alongside that breach utility. But the thing that Karmine love to do, right? They've played this Gecko a lot. It's about slowly creeping forward, reclaiming it, that 10-second cooldown to gather back space. Oh, how do they both get out?
It happens time and time again. No, it's a good point. Shin has played Gecko every single map so far, except for the previous one that we just saw. So this might actually feel a little more comfortable for the kind of things they've been scrimming lately.
Yeah. So what you're seeing right here is just like, okay, force the player out of vents with the Dizzy. Okay, now come on back, pick it up. Then we can refocus our attention up towards heaven. I didn't quite catch exactly when that wall went down up in heaven, but it's early enough that they'll have at least 30 to 40 seconds to play back into B if they end up not committing into this site hit towards A.
Obviously worth noting as well that we have seen both teams play this map last week. We saw 2 maps coming out for KC, the one for TL.
Now keep in mind, there is a concuss ready to go with Nuzera here, all the way down in sewers, if they wanted to run up into heaven, but they're really all over the place right now. I think it's going to be a sort of a B pump into an A take quickly. After Scream maybe finds a kill. He really needs a kill to cause a rotation over, and then they can capitalize into A, but he can't quite find a fight, so they're going to be forced into making this play into A regardless, and TL are kind of leading it. Soulcast has already moved over.
Yeah. I mean, Nuzera's got to make the commit here at some point.
But the bird gives them the information, so it's a great timing for KC to pop on that. Just a 1-for-1. There's 2 players already rotated for TL.
Straight away they go. This is it, the immediate flooding towards A. Sure, 2 have rotated over to make it a 4 versus 3 on site. It's Nats finding one for himself. Soulcast into a second before Nuzera finds the trade, but it's an easy closeout in round 1 for TL.
Karmine Corps battling their worst enemies on Split, and that's the clock. Running into serious issues right there. Again, I think that Scream was hoping to get an engagement maybe 15 seconds earlier, and that would have instantly, the second a kill goes down, those 2 players that were floating back towards CT, they would snap over towards B Heaven. The idea was there, but TL just refusing to give them a fight, and then winning out on the hit. Okay. All right. Bit of an energy switch up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it. Before the last game, we had a couple of clips of Safe actually just having a good time. He seems to enjoy himself when he's out there in the Coliseum.
It's crazy with how loud that roster is. Team Liquid almost still playing with Scream.
Maybe at this point he wishes he was. Still not going the way that he's looking for.
Oof.
Oof. Round 2 we are expecting, of course, to go the way of Liquid. But I guess now we've already seen that first round develop. It does start to beg that slight question about KC's lineup. It is that kind of slow, crawling style that we saw on the last map, and they were really punished by the fact they had no one to really match Safe on the Jet. Now, they have got Raze, of course, to Scream, but it's not quite the same thing. There's no one to match Safe and be as equal in this game, and we said Scream versus Safe was going to be the big 1v1 that we were looking for.
I think so often it comes to how can your backline set up your dive players, your Jets, your Razes to actually get in there. So when we get to the later rounds, we're definitely going to continue tracking that, what Karmine Corps can accomplish with Scream. Now, one of the things is I feel like Sage has fallen in priority a lot on this map after the changes to her wall. A lot of the time, not every team is playing this, but I think a team that's playing their attacks very slowly, like Karmine Corps, these walls in the mid-round end up being very punishing. The wall breaks with 30 seconds left on the clock. Then there's double slow orbs to continue stalling out the hit. Like, oh, that's not fun at all.
Oh, there we go. Redgar at range, just no questions really to be asked here. An easy clean out in the second round. Flawless for Team Liquid at that as well. Every little helps when it comes to padding out that economy. We're even one step further. I imagine they roll over these 2 Bulldogs into this next round too.
100%, 100%. And then for Karmine Corps, what the adaptation is going to have to end up being, I think, if we continue seeing these mid-round walls placed up in B Heaven, they've got to mix in these early rounds, a few quick hit looks. Like, not necessarily committing into a site, but where you're maybe concussing male, satcheling up, working into that, trying to bait out a wall earlier into the round. Otherwise, if you allow, Soulcast just very comfortably place these late walls, you're going to run into problems as you take 30 seconds, 40 seconds on the Gecko rotations. Off of the utility to take space up mid. This is the Gecko rotate, right? Throw a Wingman, then you can throw a Dizzy in after that too. Actually, I don't even think use the Dizzy, just sent Wingman in. Expecting less play in that area.
It's a good early read onto Redgar. But as you've seen, across both this map, at least in the first couple of rounds and also back on the previous, KC do like taking things slow, and they're being rewarded here for it as well. They've just let Team Liquid walk at them, basically in towards spawn, and have already collected 2 kills.
Yeah. You're going to expect to see this on the lighter buy rounds from Team Liquid, taking a little bit more individual agency, trying to step on forward. Hard to do like set aggressive plays with Team Liquid's composition though.
Destroyed.
Not having a breach, really only the paranoia and the sky flashes to set you up. So can't imagine that this is anything more than a little bit of a throwaway. Talk about the breach. How good is it for re-clearing the space here? Although I don't think any of the util connected. This has given KC big issues now.
Through the flash as well.
They lost Spike. They have control of B site, but not B main and not the Spike.
Yeah, Spike was still coming in through spawn. They had 3 coming in through heaven, and really that was the gameplay. That was the plan, to pull it all together. And at this point, it looked to be such a good round for KC, but Yampi stamps all over them with a flawless. That should have been a KC round.
That was a Yampi round. My God.
Should have been.
The ace.
7-0.
An absolute monster. Somehow, I don't know how the concuss didn't actually connect onto him. Yeah, he was just in a little pocket there.
The flash did.
Playing around, dodging away a bit of the flash. Then looking for one more after one after one.
In my pocket, in pocket, in my pocket, pocket.
I am living for this. I love some trash talk.
Oh, TL are getting rowdy. And look, I said it before, but like, TL battling against Scream and Nivera, and just the trash talk coming in now as they swatted them down on Ascent. Now win the bonus on round 3.
I mean, not forgetting as well, our next series will be even spicier. That's not forgetting Koi versus Giants, a classic Spanish matchup, so make sure you stick around for that one too. And this one, if it carries on at this rate, we may be coming into that series quicker than maybe we'd like to normally expect. That wall at least slowing things down here on that expectation that once again, KC are back onto pistols. Just become all the more potent when it comes around to these slightly less gun-heavy rounds for the losing team.
You saw them spamming the wall above the Sage wall there, because it does extend a little bit out off of Rafters, and you can play on top of that if you want for a nasty little angle.
I like the use of the freeze field there as well, because if you're coming forward to break down that wall, you're stuck in that field. You cannot get out of dodge easily. Fair chance. Team could get a freebie onto you if you keep on trying to push too aggressively. So although we haven't burned through the entire round, there's a good 40 seconds that have elapsed here. Just dealing with that wall and the slow field up in towards heaven. This starts to look really ropey once again for KC. Speaking of ropes, here we go.
Yeah, Team Liquid showing a lot of restraint, I think, not giving any opening fights to Karmine.
Oh, but they know.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a bit of a pinch. These players on site are vulnerable. Opportunities to trade these out very effectively.
Nice. I was going to say, Nat saw all of them flee and leave ropes as well, so they know that this has come in.
Yampi has the Seekers now. He can use to try and clear away these close angles. With only 4 players alive, that's super reliable information.
A little bit of ability being used, but it's Saifu who dashes it off towards the one side. He has just had Scream's number all game long. One left standing. Saifu finds one for himself and cannot get the next. NewZero can't win the 1v1. Safe finds the 4K and the defuse. Team Liquid up 4-0, and suddenly that 13-3 prediction, it's feeling pretty real.
It's so sad because Karmine Core, a couple of times across the maps, individually have found like some opening kills, especially on these ecos, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden we have a shot. But then Safe removes any chance of that. I think the Seekers coming online was exactly the right call. Actually, the concuss hit, I think, off of the Seekers onto that player up in heaven, so a bit surprising there, but regardless, just giving you information of 3 of the 4 players allows Safe to isolate those fights and just cruise on through the retake.
I feel for KC because there's 2 rounds in a row there that they should have won. Round 3, look, Yampi went absolutely nuclear, but they were the ones in the 5 versus 3. They've had that numbers advantage, but you cannot keep finding these entries and giving the rounds away from that point forwards. It's brilliant discipline and great gun skill coming out from TL to bring these rounds back, but KC will be kicking themselves. They haven't got anything on the board yet.
Yeah, even with just pistols, you'd hope to be able to convert. They almost did.
They did.
Valiant attempt from them, but nothing doing at the end of the day. Now again, 1 minute 15, we hit the wall up in B heaven, so that'll be down at 35 seconds if they want to split back into B, but that gives them time crunch once again. As NewZero has the ultimate, but he's playing isolated market with Spike. I don't know what's going on.
He was doing this in sewers a couple of rounds ago, just waiting to see where the team want to hit, but it does mean now they're playing catch-up. They're ready to try and push
But I
in
hate
here.
this.
They're ready to get control and make things
What
happen.
if they were to re-aggress out of mail? Like, your Spike is in a tough spot. He rotates through mid.
This is where he's been sat for most of these rounds.
Sure. It won't get punished, but that is alarming, I think, that he's isolated with that one, because if there had been any kind of push out of B main, that just cooks you around. That's what happened a few times ago in round 3, is they lost Spike because there were only 2 players guarding it.
30 seconds left.
Trying to jump scout out here as well to see exactly what's going on, and he's got the right idea. He reads that they're all here as well, and Solcas Going to take on 4 by himself, will walk away with 1, snagging it out and getting away. Yampi into a second. It's falling apart here for KC. They've been so slow that it's just let this 3 to 4-way crossfire get set up, and Liquid are deleting them.
I think the biggest takeaway Karmine are going to have after this series is...
Oh, they know.
No, just the ultimates they're sitting on. Nuzera playing isolated from the team. I think he sent a flash over to B main to try and, you know, convince that there was some kind of fake going on, but that's just not going to do it for me. That's the idea behind the play, but they're once again put in a position where he has to slowly rotate over. Then he's not in a spot to ult and set up the team for the take. He has the, I think, the concuss from sewers, which is good to try and take control over Heaven. But they're just getting blasted on these side hits with tools in their pocket they could be tapping into.
It's like I said, they spent so much time in actually getting control there. You know, we saw the camera coming out, we had the trip coming through, slowly stepping their way forward, and it just gave everyone on the side of Liquid time to adapt and respond, and they didn't even really look threatened in the round as well. So unsurprisingly, a timeout for KC, because this could not have gone any worse to start.
Yeah, and you might ask, like, why are you being like so particular on the ultimates? Like, why do you have to use it like almost the round you get it? You know, and it's because you can run in these situations where you go 1, maybe 2.
And to be fair, when they pulled out 4, a lot of it, I think about just over 3K each.
Because if you're 6 rounds in and not popping those, that's tough.
I mean, we had, what, 4 or 5 ults up for 2 or 3 rounds straight without a single one being burned. And to be fair, when they pulled out 4 of them all at once, it got the result they were looking for, which is fine. But really, you can't be staring down the barrel of, you know, 7, 8 rounds down and only then making use of that key utility.
Once more, slow play up through mid from Karmine.
Slow play has been the summary of the series, I feel.
No wall yet from Soulcast, interestingly enough. I think he maybe throws this slow orb off the contact. Yampi, I don't think has played here previously. Has the swing, not even throwing util, just confident to take the fight.
They've been very good at this so far. You saw it in the previous round out of Soulcast. Find the kill, back away, dart away, because you know then KC are going to slow back down. They'll get back out on the utility. Everything
oh my god!
Done,
sorry, safe pushing there to break the tripwire. Caught the, made the dog go free to have time to catch just a corner of Nuvera playing outside of B main. If he hadn't broken that trip, the dog would not have been able to make it all the way there. So a really small thing, and I don't think it matters in the context of the round, but that was a difference of half a second there, if that.
Well, here's a small difference in the play coming out from KC, though the clock once again is working against them. They've all stacked up here on their push to A main, rather than trying to split across both, coming into Heaven and through A main. They're all trying to force their way in together. They've got to watch out on the flank behind them, though, as Nats is lurking around looking to do some damage. They've managed to get on side of sight, but they weren't aware of Redgar, who just completely domes them, and even when it feels like they're getting the right plan together, Liquid shut it down. It's yet another flawless in this game.
I'm pretty sure that was Redgar that threw that smoke on site. Oh, I love those smokes like that. Where you can, it's like it doesn't block off the angle, but it gives you a little bit extra room to play on a slight off angle. Perfect on this one. So yeah, ends up breaking that so the dog doesn't get pulled back, chases on forward, like I'm talking about with the smoke. I called these smokes imposter smokes.
Imposter smokes.
Mainly because, I mean, to be fair, like back at the time when Valorant came out, that was like Among Us era. It was like, oh, you know, it's like when a defender throws a smoke on site that like gives them a better chance, so they can hide out among the attackers. It makes sense. But just don't make fun of me. I've been calling that for like 2.5 years, so it's not cringe.
I don't need to make fun of you. I think
it's just
normal.
normal.
Right now
it's
as well.
just normal for me. I'm sorry.
I was about to say normal for you. For you was the key thing you had to add to that
I guess the
sentence.
normal for me is cringe, but that's not normal. He missed.
As we all know and love, and as we all know and love. Once again, you got Nuzera, though, playing out towards, again, B main, just dropped down the spike, and now he's looking to go on a hover and wait. Now, it's probably a good thing that he hasn't got the spike with him, otherwise they'd see it go down. But he's got control of the spike. And now they're in trouble because they've got this kind of crossfire half set up on towards him.
God.
He's going to have to abandon it. And he's got a backstab coming in. There's no one watching.
No.
Yampi's going to slaughter them both.
Oh, no. I hate it. I hate it.
After losing so many pistol rounds and this being a full buy round for them, this was the time for it to start working. We're down to 40 seconds. They haven't got the spike. They have no idea if anyone from Liquid is sat on it. This is going from bad to worse for KC on their own map pick.
So that is a hard read from Yampi, by the way, after the couple of times now that they pushed into B main, because they know Nuzera's been playing over towards B, throwing this like fake flash around 40 to 50 seconds, while the rest of the team has been working up mid. So he just walks past it, contacts through, doesn't expect anyone holding the angle. Also had Safe that was able to peek and see Breach solo over there previously, so knows exactly what the deal is.
I'm curious for your take on this. Shin has just burnt his ult as well. Gone through it at a time when we've been saying you've got to start using those ults. But is using it in a 3 versus 5 when you have not got Spike and there is 0 chance you recover this round, the time to be doing it.
I might be completely trolling because I wasn't focused on what he was doing earlier in the round, but I expect that Shin had used the
point,
ult
yeah,
earlier in the round,
up.
Picked it up and was just using it towards the end.
I hadn't got to good point. I hadn't concentrated on that either. So very possibly he did.
I was a little bit distracted by Yumpy with his pets.
If he pulled that out
of
fresh, should have been like, huh?
Yeah, that would be a little bit shocking. But yeah, I mean, a gorgeous walk up all the way through market, not camping on the spike, continuing to dig a little bit deeper.
The painful thing there probably as well is, you know, Nuzira is the one probably, I'm not going to say catching flack internally, but he was the one on the duty of watching out towards B.
Yep.
And he's letting him just crawl up, spot the spike, and carry on marching all the way forward.
But it's because it's a Breach, right? Like, are you going to hard hold the angle?
You shouldn't be, no, of course.
Right?
It completely plays against Breach as a character.
They don't have the info util there. Like, that would be if it was your Cypher playing that area, but Cypher usually wants to be looking for halos.
See you, Wingman.
The most problematic thing is that Nuzera still has ultimate. I think that's 3. This will be the 4th round now. That's been an option. Still haven't tagged into it.
Oh, Nats. Super close and sees one, but no, he's swinging for the man on the near side. Could have gone for either. Instead, it's going to end up in a trade with Scream collecting that kill. He's now got his ult on as well.
Great timing. Redguard not even worried if there was going to be another player in A main. Had only seen the 2 off the early swing out of Nats, so takes the mini gamble there and it pays off hugely.
There is just no net positive event in this game, it feels, for KC. Every time it looks like they've got something going for them, there is someone there for a trade. They're being punished elsewhere on the map. Liquid just suffocating them.
When you play this controlled, slow, however you want to call it, style on
30
split.
seconds left.
When you start losing rounds when the executes come in, all you can rely on is like, okay, do we have like players that can get good lurk timings, right? We saw it through Heaven. This is the 2nd time even in this round. And the fact is, there's just the Cypher util that's been put up in mid, but it's been effective enough that Karmine Core haven't really had lurk opportunities. Team Liquid are playing very deep and not giving chances over for solo players to win fights. They're only playing off angles. They've got Sage to control B Heaven. They've got Cypher to control A Heaven.
I was going to say a rifle at that point must have felt like a gift from the gods, given they've been absolutely rattled in every single round. Even when they've gone full buy, completely shut out of things by Liquid. And even here, not leaving them with a single gift. Like I say, there is no net positive situation coming out of any of these rounds for the side of KC.
Ultimates. Ultimate abilities.
4 of them.
They're your special ability in Valorant that you get to cast after collecting anywhere from 6 to 8 ultimate orbs.
What key is it assigned to?
It's assigned to X unless you want to rebind it. As you can see, in this game, it's bound to A because we have Emea on the bottom of our screen. How cute is that?
Nice, nice.
Makes sense. You know what you can't do?
Imagine trying to play
Americas can't put Americas down there.
They can put America.
Pacific can't put Pacific down. Only EMEA can do that. Best region.
Pacific, if they wanted to, could do APAC.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to.
You're right. I didn't think this through.
I think NA.
Why are you?
I think I'm with you on the Americas point
Brutal.
at least.
NASA. NA South A. North A, South A.
Never heard it in my life.
The ultimates are coming in!
But will they get anything done with them as well? Out comes the rocket, and sure enough, down goes Redguard.
The shorty gaming now too from Safe. He can't find anything. Yes, ult after ult after ult. Throw them all out, win the round, and Yumpy is still giving TL a chance.
Still in the 3 versus 3. It feels like all things still equal.
Look where Shin is playing though. He was trying to hide inside the Astral Wall, but the neural theft from Nats is going to spot him out, force him back into CT. Now TL aware of that. Yumpy's playing forward.
Too far forward and no way. Yumpy's on for a second. 2 aces in 1 game, and even when KC invest everything and the kitchen sink, Liquid still managed to win the round. They can't buy a round at this point, Ender.
How did I get this powerful?
Ender has left the building.
I know exactly where you are.
What version of Ender has stepped in here?
I mean, they did everything I asked for them, and then the Yumpy effect came online.
The guy's 18-1. 18-1.
Yeah, sorry. You can't do anything against that. Like, the sight hit was just about perfect. The Astral Wall to sort of lay down a red carpet for Scream to get on site with the rocket, gets one. Safe isn't able to find anything on site. It's 5 versus 3, and I loved the position they had. But the fact that Yompi finds, not the ace, but the first kill in heaven, that then gives them the neural theft to spot out Shin, so Shin can't
Up in time to have a strong VCT Emea.
he might be chilling. He's gonna have
For his
fun
own
in the
health.
VOD review.
For his own health.
Tweet at Sideshow, tell him not to watch this.
No, that's exactly why we should tell him to watch it.
Actually, no, because if he watches it, then Sliggy will watch him watching it. And then we can watch Sliggy watching him watching it. And it's just a clout machine.
I got the spike.
It's a clout farm, you know?
Triangle at that point. A clout triangle.
Just from point to point to point. That could be effective. I need to get into the triangle. I need to make it a square. And then I can also farm the clout. Because right now, I'm just one spoke at the start of the clout.
Put us in as a pairing, and then you've got Sideshow, you've got Slick. Just form the triangle. But we're kind of like a dual point together.
With our forces combined, with our collective Twitter engagement combined, we can hit 1/10 of what Sideshow has.
We're trying to make this work again on the A hit. It's just not going to work because you're running straight into the op. Time and time again, they've just been absolutely butchered. Out comes the ult from Shin once more. Finding nothing for it. I say that as he finds one. Safe finds his second. Gonna find a third. No, Yampi steals it away. He's like, hang on a minute. This is my map to shine. 20 kills he now currently sits at. Make it 21. He's blitzing his way through. Now, you said 1 kill per round wasn't enough. But over 2 kills per round now.
Oh no. Safe and Yompi are a combined 33 kills and 3 deaths.
Oh.
I have words that I could say, but instead I will not say those words. I value my job.
Hey, that right.
It didn't stop you at the end of the last map, Ender. I don't even know what to say anymore. There's only so much point you can get to around holding out hope for a team to be able to dig their way back into this.
I think there's a certain point with a lot of things in life where you just sort of like, you have to wash your hands of it, just accept it for what it is, watch it all play out. This is just going to be the absolute meat grinder, another full A hit, and they can't get through. It's just the Sheriffs.
They've been stuck on pistols, yeah.
Karmine Court didn't even make it to the Cypher trips. It's a full A exec.
That's how painful it's been at the very least.
It's the knife, it's the knife.
There was a consolation prize onto Safe, but outside of that, it goes exactly as you come to expect. KC have burnt through the timeouts. There is nothing more they can do. And outside of some acts of God in the second half, this one feels like it's already a foregone conclusion.
All right, it's actually hyper-based if they just do another full A exec. They call timeout, they're like, we can't play mid. It's not possible versus their setup. We're not playing quickly enough through there. We'll just go A 3 rounds in a row, see if eventually it can work. Surely they wouldn't expect it again. The problem is, with Safe playing in vents, he can rotate so quickly over into A heaven, and then they can just do the same thing they've been doing. Yep, look at this. It's actually the beta Sage wall in mid, just to get the very quick rotation to play 2 players in heaven. Now the reposition to screens, 1 on site. There's no way Karmine are getting in here. The concuss doesn't even hit all of screens.
And they're still ready. A 1-for-1 to get things off at the very least, but they're safe. It gets a collat as well, I think, onto Shin. And XMS at the same time makes it a third. What can we even say? Do we need a halftime at this point? I'm not so convinced.
Hold.
No. No.
Nope.
No.
Wow.
This has been the most brutal half of Valorant I think I've ever seen.
Match point.
And this is top tier Emea play as well. How many kills have they got combined at this point? 11, 14, 16, 18
Are you
kills.
doing a little bit of math here,
18 kills KC across that entire half.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely nutty. And honestly, I mean, Safe, the reposition there.
2 hosts together, give them both a microphone, and chaos ensues.
God, you know, they just taken over the show. I thought we were supposed to be casting, and then they're talking and talking and talking. This is supposed to be about us.
I mean, let's just say, there is a lot of time available to do talking, given how fast this map is now looking to be.
That's true. I don't.
It's
There
gonna
might
be
not be much time left, quite frankly.
No, it's been a fun week, mate. Catch you soon.
Yeah, catch a. I mean,
Week
wow.
7, I think we're back together next.
It was crazy. Last week, I had every OT in the world,
Yeah.
and this week it's just stomp on stomp on
I
stomp.
had the spike.
I'm the anti-OT curse.
Spike
Or
down.
And
blessing,
yet-
take your pick.
Okay, I
Alright.
am now a Karmine Core fan. Full bias, Karmine Core, the way they win this round, look, it's 5 players going through A main, Cypher trips on site, the position from New Zera, that's to concuss the hits all of main. If they commit onto the ground here, TL lose. If they split into heaven, they can win.
But there's three. Three of them are on B. They're nowhere near the action.
Wait, he
whereas
jumped
that
over the
first
trip.
half, we saw a bit of a read. It was great. Sure, there's one coming in, but they're forcing their way up towards heaven here as well, looking to cut off the rotates from B.
There's a world where they try to split back into B, and I think that's what Karmine Core are reading.
Are
You see
they?
3 players now actually pushing back forward
30 seconds
into
left.
heaven. Spike hasn't committed just yet, and actually the combined utility slightly delayed, or just dodged from. Redgar hadn't fully committed in there.
But they baited a bunch in towards B as well, so with all that now going down, they've hard forced back over towards A, but they've got to go deep. They've got to find these 2 players. They found 1, they found 2. Nivera's going pretty big here, but can't get the next. Into this 1 left on site. Soulcast to give us a 13-0. It's not going to be the case.
Nope.
The KC saved themselves from what could have been a pretty embarrassing record to hold.
TL walked into the meat grinder there.
Yeah.
Exactly as it had to be. Because again, like heaven was really, really light. They would run into some serious issues. Of course, TL didn't really have the chance to know that. They hadn't done too much scouting up through mid
Plus que 10 secondes.
or anything like this. So just deciding to do a slightly delayed commitment onto the A site. And wait, can you take those off?
Yes, I guess.
I don't think you can.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's probably not all that much that you can hear after a pistol round that's going to change the outcome too much.
I'm literally watching Nivera put the headphones back in his head right now. What is going on? He's in spawn. He didn't buy. He forgot to buy with 3,500 credits because he took his headphones off.
There's a lot of belief in the team here, I think,
I'm
to get
about
this
to
one over
have
the
my
line.
sideshow splattered egg moment.
Entertaining, if nothing else. 4 and 4. Redgar with at least a gun in hand. Have you recovered? Are you okay?
Slightly. If Karmine Core win, then I can recover. And then it's just Giga Chad 5-head, didn't need to buy. Now we're rich for the next round, but something tells me it's not going to be that. Nivera still doesn't have a gun, man.
Oh,
He
no.
still doesn't have a gun.
That's a
Nats
goal
has a
inside.
freaking
No.
phantom.
No zero to clutch. No, into the water.
Take what's useful.
No!
Oh my God.
No way you get the classic kill at the end, man. I'm losing it. I'm actually losing it. No way.
You could see the way.
Look at the replay. He's just in spawn. He gets a random right-click headshot. The bottom bullet, 2 bullets went into the
And he's,
stratosphere.
just like, no problem, man. No
and
problem.
the 3rd one's a headshot.
You couldn't write a much better script than that. That was one for the memory books. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna die young.
Composure. Composure. Let's go.
This is crazy. Look, but now Nivera super wealthy. Just like I was saying, all part of the plan.
No, because now he's dead.
Okay, it's okay though. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
He dies with 2K
This
in the
is-
bank.
It's a close round though. He had the Phantom regardless. So this is actually serious now for Karmine Core because they're gonna look for a late mid-round re-aggress up through mid. Now, unbeknownst to them, TL have completely abandoned
they
mid.
know?
TL actually not trying to split into the sites or play through mid as hard as KC were. It's gonna be another A commitment. This time though, it is just XMS backside.
They've got to go so hard on some here though and get control of sight fast because that rotation last round was pretty quick when it all started running over. And here we go. Surely with that flash coming in, they know exactly what's coming in at this point. But 2 have managed to get past XMS. Do they even know he's at the back here? Surely they do. They've put him out with the dog as well. And Cuss comes through, everything raining down on him. And now they're all stacked up 3
Zera
towards the
just
single spot.
concussed
30 seconds
XMS
left.
on site. He just killed his teammate with the fault line.
I didn't even cock it. Carry on, Endo, all yours.
I don't think I will.
It's been a game, is the best way I can describe it. But with 1 less standing and a total finish out.
Attackers win.
A third